It is the 30th of May, and it is a historic day in America. A former president of the United States, Donald John Trump, is, before the sun sets on the East Coast, a convicted felon, found guilty on all 34 counts. He will be sentenced on July the 11th. All of this has been prologue to what is going to come next. And what's going to come next is chaos. Donald Trump has been unhinged as of late, in case you haven't noticed. What we will see tonight are epic tweet storms. We will see him threaten the country, the jurors, the judge, the system. He will be enraged. But what has changed in America during the Trump era is the abdication completely, totally, and absolutely of all standards whatsoever, moral and otherwise, by the former party of values, the Republican Party, the MAGA fascist party. What we will see next from the MAGA Republican Party is a wholesale capitulation to the man they have made a wholesale capitulation to 9 years ago. The Republican Party of 2024 will get in line absolutely behind a convicted felon. There are no standards whatsoever. So graduates of some of the most elite law schools in the country, Tom Cotton, Harvard Law School, Ted Cruz, Harvard Law School, Josh Hawley, Yale Law School, every one of these people, Lindsey Graham, they will all get in line behind the convicted felon. Donald Trump has brought this shame and disgrace on his company, on his family, and on the nation. It is a tragic day that the presidency has been so debased, but it is a glorious day because in America, no one is above the law, not even the man who tried to incite an insurrection and overthrow the legitimate results of an election. He is tonight convicted, a convicted felon in the state of New York. But make no mistake, we are in a constitutional crisis because our judicial system is corrupted at the Supreme Court. We are in a constitutional crisis because the elected heads of the legislative branch, who are members of the Republican Party, do not believe in elections any more than they believe in the rule of law. This is the beginning, and soon we will know the answer to a question. Will being a convicted felon hurt Trump at all? It's not a theoretical question anymore. It's a real one. Donald Trump tonight is a convicted felon, found guilty of 34 counts by a Manhattan jury of his peers. Donald Trump is guilty. And so the theoretical questions in the polling are now suddenly real. We don't talk about character very much in America anymore, and that's too bad because the country is about to have a massive character test. Will there be a breach in the allegiance, a break in the fever of the cult? Soon we will know who will stay in line behind the convicted felon. And the magnitude of the crisis is a direct result because in our two-party system, when it comes to the highest elected officials of one party that has been consumed by this fascist enterprise, the answer will be all of them. And that's the tragedy in all of this. This is the morning. What a historic day in the United States. A former president disgraced, a former president, a convicted felon by nightfall on this, the 30th of May, 2024, 159 days out from an election between democracy and the man, a convicted felon, who wishes to be our first dictator. I'm Steve Schmidt. This is The Warning, and I invite you to join, subscribe on our Substack, on our YouTube channel. Follow us. Welcome to the community.